Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. It is Wednesday and this is Q&A where you ask me questions and I try to answer them. I hope you are having a pleasant week, as pleasant as you can. I hope you are coping with any stress, any stressors, okay? I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I'm doing okay. I am, how am I doing? I'm tired. I don't know. I've been tired. But I'm getting through. I'm still here. I'm in a space of, it is what it is, I can't give my energy to certain things anymore concerning, what we are all experiencing globally. I can only do what I can do, and that's what we can all do, which is most important to prioritize our wellness in any way that we can, okay? Because the universe is taking care of itself, and at this point, a lot of things are out of our hands except for ourselves, okay? Let's just jump into it. If you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video, and the link will be there. You could click the link and you'll see a list of the personal readings that I offer. Or you can email me if you have no idea what I'm talking about, moonlightergy15@gmail.com. Okay? All one word. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. For informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged. Let's jump into the questions. Okay? Let's jump right in. I hope I can answer them. All right. Number one. Hold on, let me just make this bigger. Okay, number one, Lost Land 1111. 1111. Love that number. Hi, Kim. Hello. What do you see happening to BiBi? His power is starting to crack. Okay. You mean Netanyahu? His name I could never say? That's what you mean? Let's see. Sorry for any background noise. I can hear very loud television. You may not hear it, but just in case you do. It's so loud. It's like right in my room. Right in my space. I don't know why these cards are upside down. I couldn't tell you why, but they are. I apologize, guys. Thought I grabbed this deck specifically because I thought I had. All right, let's see here. All right, let's see what his outcome is. What is his outcome? He's a wanted man, right? And they specifically put sanctions on the ICC, the judges. I'll do reversals here because I'm a little tired. What is his outcome? What is his outcome? We have the star. Interesting. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Page of Wands. The Lovers. Strength. I mean, you know what I sense with this man is that he's gonna keep going, you know, for the time being. He needs to do, he's done so much already. I'm gonna ask a different question. I didn't ask the right question. I'm gonna ask a different question. My God just said to me, I need to rephrase my question. I need to rephrase my question. Okay. Will he be brought to justice is the right question. Let me get more specific and not broad. More closed and not open. Will he be brought to justice? Okay. Seven of Cups. Justice flipped out of the deck. You hear me? She jumped out of the deck. She jumped out the deck. She jumped out. That was crazy. Will he be brought to justice? Page of Cups in reverse. The World. Death. Nine of Pentacles. King of Swords. The Star again. Nine of Wands. Queen of Swords. Three of Wands. The Emperor in reverse. Yes, he will be brought to justice. Nine of Wands. Queen of Swords. All this truth here. Three of Wands. Yes, he will be brought to justice. Let's see if I could see when. I feel like it won't be, I feel like it'll be slow going. This doesn't feel like it'll happen. The Sun. Yeah, he'll be brought to justice. I feel what my guys are showing me on the other side of it is that this will be a healing that will come from this person going. He is the main issue. He is the main issue. Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Cups. Yeah. Temperance. Yep, that's what they're telling me. In terms of when, feels like slow going. Maybe in the next year or so. You know? It feels very slow going now, but he will face justice, and he will have to walk away. He will lose power. It's really about his actions culminating to a point where he'll lose his grip on power, on the power he has, his support. More truths coming out. It's gonna be. It feels very insidious. Even more insidious than what we're seeing now. But the Emperor is in reverse here, so, and the Sun is here. In Temperance, there's a lot of healing that will come from him, getting justice. Yes, justice will come for him. And the Emperor sort of signals that the Death card is there, probably the end of support with Nine of Pentacles there. It feels as though something has to arrive to signal his true end. Death is here. Okay, and the Three of Wands rather, was something waiting for something to come in to signal this Emperor in reverse. Okay. Will justice come for Netanyahu? Justice come for him. Okay. Answer is yes. Alright, so he's very slick. He has, he's guarded in some way, but that's gonna falter. Just like you said, his power is weakening, but the Nine of Wands is here. Okay, so he's still holding on in a sense, but the truth is coming for him. Justice is coming for him. Well, he'll lose his power. Maybe within the next, let's say, it doesn't feel like, like next month. Obviously, it feels like a bit ways off. I'd say 8 to 12 months, maybe 6 to 12, a year more. A year as the most, I meant. Okay, hope that answered your question. All right, number 2, John Ironline. I'm saying that wrong. 5487. Hi, Kim. In yesterday's Kamala channeling, she mentioned that they had to figure this mess out, and the decision regarding her presidency was somewhat dependent on what they decided, or it was out of her hands rather. I'm curious who they are, since she was the rightful winner. Why isn't she the one who will make the decisions once this let's not call them a regime. Let's not give power to that. Once they are ousted. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure. And I felt like I couldn't ask her. We could guess. Honestly, advisors, Biden's advisors, yeah. Let's see if I could see in the cards. I kind of doubt it, though. Let's see here. Let me use another deck. Spirit, show me. Yeah, question. I'm like, sometimes it's like, if they, something like that has to be irrefutable. But it just feels like no one put up a fight and they just rolled out the red carpet. The world again. The world again. Okay, she has clothes on. Everyone's devices are so loud. Overstimulated. The world again. Queen of Pentacles. Strength. Nine of Wands. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It feels like, what I'm hearing is like the risk was too great, but the risk, when you look at now, it feels like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it bigger than, you know, making a decision being made because of something bigger, something of greater importance. I could ask her again, but I feel like, I don't know, I can't answer that question. It's not one singular person. It feels like multiple, a collective, someone. It's not like a secret government. I don't think. But evidence has to be irrefutable when you can't, you know. It's so many revealing that our elections aren't free or fair, but that, you know, they could say that is until they're blue in the face, and it's not permitting that to the American people. And that's a mess. And then you have this situation, and is there evidence there? Could they get it? You know, it's just so much. It's a mess, honestly. There's so many factors involved. Are they doing something now too? Are they investigating? Are they looking at these things that are coming out? Are they doing that seriously? I do feel something is being looked at. Let's ask the cards. Are they looking into election interference? It's really sickening, you know? It's like, y'all did, let me not go into it. I didn't do anything to protect your process. And Kamala's been saying since 2017, she showed y'all a whole presentation. It's really sick. Yeah, they're looking into something. Yeah. We have Magician, Five of Swords, Ten of Wands, Nine of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Two of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. They're, you know, it's like they don't know. They have, you know. It's really also up to the states if they really want to take a deeper look. Number 3. Lone Phantom, 756. Kim, I have to be frank. Be frank. Go ahead. Go on ahead. Our democracy is dead at this point. I could see where you would feel that way. And it could have been avoided. Yes. If 45 had used the power, 46 you say, had used the power that he'd been given, but now even the military is being used against us. How do we get out of this? What else needs to happen? Who's G.I. Jack? Who is that? Jack Smith? Using the military, I mean, sure, that's what he wants to do. Because he's petty. Especially with California, he has a lot of issues there. He has a lot of enemies there. It's a heavily blue state. And he doesn't like the governor because the governor doesn't kiss his butt for the most part. He's a hater, you know, all that stuff. I feel, you know, when you think about the military, they can't do a lot. They're just stand there. Their job is to, for the most part, their ultimate job is to protect what's in the Constitution, and protesting, you know. King of Cups came out. I'm looking at the military and I'm saying, what would they do? See, the military is very different from ICE. I want y'all to understand that, okay? And they are not the National Guard either. These are, from what I understand, from what I've been told, there are people in my family who are in the military. They're very, very different from the National Guard and ICE, okay? Let's see here. So we have the King of Cups. What will come from that? What will they do? The Devil's on the bottom. And the 8 of Cups. And the Sun is on the bottom. I can't show them because they're naked, but the Devil, the 8 of Cups, the Sun. 10 of Swords is there. Let's see what's on top. Judgment. Judgment. Queen of Cups. It'll be okay. Three of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. I don't see violence. I don't, you know, I don't see them, you know, I don't see them harming citizens. And you may think I'm naive if you know, but when the military, the military is not ICE. But anyway, I say that because we have the king here and the queen here. There's some emotional stability here. I mean, when you've touching on the energy of this, you know, the military they're trying to deploy, if they didn't already, I don't, you know. Judgment here, I don't see violence. The devil energy is here. Judgment is on top of it. The sun is here. I understand where you would feel that way. Your feelings are valid. That's why I pulled this question, Lone Phantom. I get it. We do have to. You have to sort of. Is it literally dead, our democracy? No. We still have to hold on to that, because that's what they want us to feel and what they want us to believe. That's what they want us to say. They want us in the ground to give up. And so we can't put our energy towards that. Though I validate your feelings and I understand why you feel this way. But I encourage you to, when you are ready, to really look at the other side of it and understand that, no, our democracy is definitely in danger. It's definitely, danger exists. It's definitely being threatened, but is it dead? So long as we breathe, as we walk this country, democracy exists still. The process still exists. We can't give our energy into what this person is trying to do and what he's trying to take and those behind him. He's just doing this for vengeance. He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't stand for anything, good or bad. He stands for nothing but himself. And to want to feel powerful, the people who are behind him, who are pulling the strings, and I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but there are people in his cabinet, people who are in his ear, they are the ones who want us to believe that they want us to suffer and want us to get to this point. But it's not dead. It's not. Regardless of all the static and the mess, it's still alive. It's threatened, yeah, but we have to hold on to that. You know what I mean? Because my people fought for freedom and rights. They fought for that. There's still work to be done. But it's not, this is a similar pattern as to the history of this country. When people, this country, the history, the core. So I've looking back at history and the people I've channeled and, what we've seen and know, this is not new. It's not new. So it's terrible to experience, but I always have to try to remember. No. My people were enslaved, and while there's still so much to be done because there's so many things being undone. No, I can't sit here and say democracy's dead, man. But I get it. I feel you, Lone Phantom. Okay. All right. I don't see violence. It doesn't feel dangerous, the energy. Okay. Number 4. I think I skipped. Yeah, I skipped. What number was I on? Okay, I'm going to say number 5. Because I skipped 3. And I went to 4. Okay, this is number 5. Anyway. Alina M. 8266. Well, the fact that Trump seems like he is going to create riot conditions will it be brought to light that the videos being shared on Fox and other right-wing channels are actually from the past and not from current protests. What will happen to Trump and the ICE agents and the administration officials who helped set up the false narrative? Nothing. Keeping it real with you. I don't see any consequence. I saw this question and nothing will come of it. No consequence. Nope. They didn't get one the first time. They're not going to get one this time. They are acting under the bounds of the laws that are written. Under the orders. So, no, you're not going to get consequence. As for Fox News, they could do what they want. Maybe they'll get a spiritual consequence, some karmic, but nothing. I could tell you that. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Well, Justice. Six of Wands. Shuffle some more. Okay. Five of Wands, some exposure, some scandal, Nine of Swords. Okay. Their justice Ten of Swords and people won't support them. There's Ten of Swords and Ten of Cups. The justice will be more, I don't see like legal consequences. The justice will be more like, the more that they do, like you see it now, the more that they do, the more people turn away from them. The less support, the more people will push back. The more they will be exposed with the Five of Wands. That's their justice. The Five of Pentacles here is, you're left out in the cold. You're just, no one wants to be around you. You're isolated, Your reputation is on the line. That's their justice with the Six of Wands. Because you have the Ten of Cups and the Ten of Swords here. Five of Wands is a card of exposure. But there will, I don't sense the kind of consequences you may be talking about, but people will definitely resist them. That, the more that they expose themselves and more that they are exposed and more scandals that comes out, people will resist them. And what could happen, what I do sense happening, is that action will eventually be taken, but not while this, they have the power for it. They have carte blanche. That's how he's he's controlling things through ICE. Do I see them being dismantled? No. But it will be so much pressure from the public. Something will have to change. Through him? I don't think so, but yes, they'll have some form of consequence, but not what you're thinking. Okay. Number 6. Digital Dollhouse 22. Will anything come of the RockLand NY Election lawsuit? So many creators on TikTok are saying oh no, it's not a nothing burger. I did a reading on this. I did a reading on this. It's not a nothing burger. Why do they think that? Because it's a small town in New York? I saw a video. She didn't get any votes. She got 2 votes. All Democrat. It's a heavily Democratic district, multiple districts in that town. And all the Democrats won their space, but he happens to win the presidency. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Now, the reality is that the people are saying, here's why it's not a nothing burger, okay? Because they were giving the go-ahead to audit and to look into this. To question a presidential election result, to audit it, for a judge to say, yeah, sure, yeah. One of the districts, a Republican only received 9 votes, and the Democrat received over 500. Kamala got 2 votes, and Donald Trump got 900 votes. Come on. Give me a break. If those votes... It's all about the truth. It's all it's about. Knight of Wands. What will come of this? On the bigger scale. What will come of this RockLand New York lawsuit? I think I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but I think a lot of people are just falling into the energy of losing hope or, giving up. I think that's sad. We pay attention more to the nastiness than the hope. And what are some things that... Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups. What comes of this? It's real easy to fall into that energy. I get it. I know when something is nothing. I do, and I'm not saying that with arrogance. But I'm like, that's not it. King of Swords. Some truth coming out. 7 of Cups. Let's see what comes after that. The Emperor. Six of Swords. Six of Pentacles. Give and take. Moving, working, expanding towards stability. I mean, what could come of it? Justice. Six of Swords, the Emperor there. Queen of Cups. Eight of Cups. Some healing. The Sun. Things coming out from darkness into the light. Give me the ultimate outcome. So we have 1, 2, 3 major cards. We have Truth. Knight of Wands is about determination. It's about bringing the truth. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, not the Ace of Cups. The Seven of Cups next to the Emperor feels like an illusion breaking. Page of Wands. Give me the ultimate outcome. Six of Wands, the ultimate outcome. No, it's not a nothing burger. My guides did say, I'm not making any predictions. My guides did say it starts off small. It starts very minuscule and subtle. And there will be many things. We have 3 major cards here. So no, it's not a nothing burger. We have the King of Swords here and Justice in the same reading. Whoever is doing this, the people, the citizens of Rockland are very, very angry. I can tell you that. So now the election results are under scrutiny. It's not a nothing burger. This could be something that could quite possibly motivate other states, other districts to look into their results. It's very serious to challenge a presidential election. Complete votes erased for someone? Come on. There's a flaw somewhere and it needs to be found. But no, it's not nothing. Something will come from this. Some type of exposure, some type of illusion breaking, setting off a new beginning. With the Ace of Cups, it's something about a new way forward emotionally because of the results of this. The Sun, the Eight of Cups, walking into something new, emotional healing. something will come from it. So no, it's not nothing. Next question. Number 7. 1619 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐰𝐞𝐫𝐬. My question is, hi Kim, my question is, with so many people using Ozempic and Wegovy for weight loss and other medications, do you foresee major illness in these people years from now? I'm not a doctor. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are side effects to any medication you would take, whether it's for long. I don't know how the process. Do people take it for long term? The other thing is that this Wegovy and Ozempic, people taking it for weight loss has been occurring for very much longer than, it's popular. It's become popular in the last few years now, but this has been happening for a long time. But I'm sure they have side effects with any medication. Long term, like, you mean like major illnesses, like, I don't see that necessarily, but let's look at the cards. I don't sense that. First of all, long-term use of Ozempic and Wegovy. The moon. Just making sure I don't have to shuffle. Knight of Wands. Let's shuffle some more. Five of Cups came out. Eight of Pentacles. It's really, it's uncertain. I can't really answer that question and say a definitive yes or no. One, because I don't know. And it's not necessarily about comfort. It's about ethical. I wouldn't say. Talk to your doctor about side effects. Because it depends on the individual of how they're affected. I would think if you start taking a medication, you would get side effects that would either make you A, stop taking it, or B, find a different, you know what I mean? If you are taking an Ozempic or Wegovy, and you should start experiencing some side effects, but I know you're talking about long term. I can't say a yes or no. I don't necessarily see that, but I can't be like, people take Ozempic and, if they take it for a long term, they'll end up with cancer. I don't really, I would say, with the moon here, you really can't. It's uncertain, That's something you have to discuss with your doctor, honestly. But it's insulin, right? You know, it depends on the person. It depends on the individual. I can't say yes or no. But there are side effects to everything. Long term, short term. But if a person is taking it, there should be, your body should warn you that, you know, in some way. I would hope. Okay? I know you wanted me to look and look at it through my gift, but that's how I that's my answer. Okay? Number 8. Daniel D. I can't say your name. I'm sorry. 7133. What do you see for Jasmine Crockett in the near future? Do you see her in the White House one of these days? What an intelligent woman like Kamala. She is special. I could tell you that. She will go far. Let's see. What is her destiny? You know, it depends on if she wants to be in the White House. Is that something she aspires to? Is the question. I think it's a question of whether or not America is ready for that. You know, because again, ugh. Nine of Cups, Knight of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Oh, Knight of Swords, Three of Cups, Four of Wands, Queen of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Eight of Cups, the Sun. Okay. She is very special and she's very powerful. Her energy is very powerful. She's busy fighting right now. Okay. She is busy. Her mind is focused on where she is in the house. Okay. Her current position. She has a lot to learn. She is learning a lot. She's coming into her power, but she's where she's supposed to be. She has a lot of work to get through, a lot of work to do. The Queen of Wands. I mean, that's her. Determined, willful, intelligent, authentic, truthful, tells the truth. Spicy, powerful, intelligent, inspiring. Okay. But there's Eight of Cups here. She's really walking. She's not really quite determined where she's going. She's where she wants to be right now. Okay. But she has a lot of power. She has a lot of luck too on her side. Karmically, but emotionally she's look, this Queen of Cups, this is why she's so successful. The Two of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands here. She's able to hold the balance between her emotions, very emotionally stable, very compassionate, intuitive, goes with the flow of things, very able to adjust easily, and hold the balance between these two energies with the Queen of Wands. You know, very powerful, willful energy, spicy, impulsive, wild, okay? Knows when to bite and knows when to chill. That's what you need for the work she's doing. So she's able to really hold the balance between that. That's why she's so powerful. The Knight of Swords here, and also really, and the Knight of Cups, like she has a lot of balance. You have the Four of Wands here. You have the Knight. She's going places. She's going to continue to be extremely successful, because with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords here, she's all about balance. She's really able to hold the balance between the rational and the emotional. Wow. Yeah, she's good. Page of Pentacles is where she's learning and where in her position. Focused, methodical, determined. Okay? She has the fuel to go far. But in terms of her being president, her mind is not on that right now. It's on fighting, doing what she needs to do for her work, for her constituents. Okay? But she does have the keys, the source. She's learning though. She still has much to learn. Okay. All right. Number 9. Bonnie R 1434. How will Trump's military parade go? How does the energy compare between the two forces? So the military parade and the No Kings protests. I'm going to do a quick preview because I honestly, I don't care how his parade goes, but let's see. I don't like giving him my energy anymore. Let's do this deck. If there are naked people that will come up, I will just... Hold on. Let's see how this parade will go. TV's so loud. How will Trump's parade? I'm working under the assumption that it's happening. Right? King of Wands. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. King of Wands and 4 Pentacles in reverse. Loosening a grip on power. 8 of Wands in reverse. I checked all these cards. Two of Swords. King of Swords in reverse. Did I grab these cards? Yeah, I grabbed them right there. I don't know. This is in reverse. A lack of progression. Confusion. 4 of Wands. Queen of Cups. Queen of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups, 7 of Cups, the Star in reverse. Star in reverse, 7 of Pentacles, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups. I don't know, it feels weird. 7 of Cups. Devil in reverse. Can't show you because they're naked. Devil in reverse. Star in reverse and devil. I don't want to say it's not going to happen. But something's, you know, I don't know. Well, Trump's parade happened on... Well, Donald Trump's military parade. You're saying no, I don't know. They're saying no. I mean, perhaps some delay, some change. The King and the Queen of Wands. Out of control. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse. It's going to be, if it happens, it's definitely going to be a display. The 8 of Wands in reverse. It's definitely going to be interesting. All pomp and circumstance. But there's some, here it feels like there's some confusion coming in. The Devil in reverse is really, you know, it may be like, it feels, I don't know, it's something, I'm not saying something bad will happen, but there's some delay, or it may not happen. If it does, it'll be weird. All pomp. The 10 of Swords is here. The Devil in reverse is there. I mean, I don't know. And the eight of Wands is in reverse. That's like, it's about delays, you know? Something not moving forward the way it's supposed to. I hope that happens. I will pray for that. I hope that happens. I hope there's no one there. I hope they can't have it. Because that's what, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It said no. The energy feels like a strong no. But, you know. Let's look at the No Kings protests. What will be the energy surrounding that? We have, you know, I'm saying that because we have this 4 of Wands and the King of Swords in reverse. We have the 2 of Swords up right here. It's all about delay and confusion. 10 of Swords here next to the Devil in reverse. You have the King and Queen. It may be like people resisting or, you know, questioning if he should do this and him pushing it forward, you know. There could be that. Then it turns into some sort of disaster. Star in reverse. It may not happen. We'll see. If it does, it's, you know, it's not going to be good. All right. No king's protests. Let's look at that. Death. Wheel of Fortune. Queen of Wands. The Sun. 4 major cards. 3 major cards. Justice. 2 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and burdens. King and Queen of Wands too. King and Queen as well for the no king's protest. He got the King and Queen, and this got the King and Queen. Have to shuffle. This is the same card. And too many cards that are from other pulls in a row, I will reshuffle because I feel that's not the cards. If they come up again, that's the cards. Might get a little wild at those protests with the King and Queen there. 9 of Swords, the Hierophant. 9 of Swords and the Hierophant. Give me the ultimate outcome here for the no king's protest. Very interesting. Ultimate. The 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is here too, right? I thought it was. Things might get wild with the King and Queen of Cups. I mean the King and Queen of Wands. It will push forward with determination. It doesn't feel, the 9 of Cups is there, so it doesn't feel too like things will get too crazy, but I need a, let me get a clarifier for the King and Queen, please. Here with these cards and the no king's protest, it feels like Spirit is really acknowledging the purpose of it. It will be transformative. It will be inspirational, okay? People will be very determined to speak the truth, to seek justice in some way, a balance. Page of Swords. The word will get out loud and clear with that. The Fool is there. The word will get out loud and clear. It will be a transformative moment. It will be. Okay? And compared to whatever the other thing is. 8 of Cups, healing, yeah. Okay. But the Donald Trump's parade, I don't know. Something feels like there'll be some delays, or if it does happen, it's going to be something weird. It may not be as big as he wants or expects because of something. Something. 2 major cards in reverse. The Star and the Devil. Remember that, okay? We'll see. All right. Oh my God, I have so many questions left. We'd love to know what age. Okay, number 10. Travel Wanderlust. Hi, Kim. Would love to know what age you were when you realized you had the gift and how you navigated that process. Also curious to know what has been your most favorite person or entity that you had channeled and why. Okay. I first noticed when I was probably around 10, 11, 12, around that age. I noticed I would think things and it would happen. Too frequently. I noticed that I could pray really hard. I would pray to Jesus. I would pray for something, or I would, and it would come true. It would happen all the time. And I knew I would call that, I would say that I was lucky. Oh, I'm just lucky. I could pretty much think of something and it will literally I would think this will happen, or, So around that age. But I really realized that I was, I guess, different. I wasn't calling it a gift. It was not a gift to me. Keeping it real. But I really, really noticed when I was around 16, 17, I knew 9/11 would happen the night before. I didn't know that would happen, but I felt very off the night before. I think I told this story before, but I'll tell it again. I felt very off the night before and very anxious and sad all day. Thought it was like teenage angst, that was par for the course with me. But that day in particular, I remember in days leading up to it, I felt very, very, very anxious. And I remember my parents had went on a cruise around that time, a week before then. And I was so nervous. Usually they go on cruises all the time. I was never nervous for them, but I would feel worried for them for some reason leading up to it. And the very night before, I was like, why do I feel this way? I couldn't understand it. I felt so terrible and sad and anxious. And as I was falling asleep, I heard, it was a loud boom and it woke me up. And so then 9/11 happened the next day. I went to school and, and I was 16 going on 17. And that's when I knew. I was like, okay, well, I didn't know what it was. But I knew I was different. And so around that same time when that plane crash happened in Queens, what I do know is that I still to this day, I have premonitions through dreams, and it's usually something terrible. So, I had a dream that a plane crashed in front of my house, and I woke up, and it was the plane crash in Queens, right on the news. As soon as I, woke up and, well, I think I went into my sister's room and it was on the news. So those two moments stick out to me the most. At that time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know, that these were gifts, but I knew that I could think things and it would happen. I didn't know I could manifest, someone had told me a few years ago that that's one of the things that I can do. I could, I'm a powerful manifester. I could really, when I put my energy into it, when I think about it, when I, could happen, you can make things happen. So but it wasn't until maybe 2020 when I was going through a spiritual awakening. It was a lot happening in my family, but it was like sort of started in 2019, but 2020 I started really aligning, and then 2023 my brother passed away suddenly, and I just sort of I was not integrating. I wasn't doing anything spiritual, and I had a near-death experience 2020, or the end of 2023, and that's when I was visited by an angel, and they told me, you have these gifts, and I'm giving you my wings, and the scars on the back are in shape of wings. And that's when I really, it wasn't until I started exploring my gifts again, but it wasn't until the election really when I was like, something has to change. No, this is crazy. And it was like the door burst open, and I, started receiving messages, and I connected with my guides, and I'm fully integrated. Here I am today. It's a hard journey. But my most favorite person, I have multiple people that I really enjoy channeling. Who are people who have passed. I really enjoy Malcolm X. There's so many, but the people that stick out in my mind: Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Thomas Paine. I really, really like talking to him. Who else? Frederick Douglass. He's one of my spirit guides. I feel like his energy comes to his energy is in me the most. I guess I feel the most connected to him. Who else? Edward Casey. He's a new one that I really, really enjoy touching on their energy and channeling them. He felt like it felt like he was, someone mentioned in the comments, like, it did feel like he was mentoring through the connection. I like that. There's someone else. Nina Simone, I really enjoyed. JFK too. He was funny. But those are just a few. There's so many people but those are the ones that really, stick out to me. I think with Frederick Douglass, when I learned from him what a bagman was, that really affirmed for me that this was something I can actually do, because it was a phrase I had never heard before. And when people started commenting, oh, there's an article about, and I didn't know that's what he was called, Donald Trump. So that, that was special. And I figured out that he was my spirit guide, Frederick Douglass. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you for asking. I gave you a very abridged version, but that's the story. Okay. Number 11. Dion Johnson, 5437. Was Lilith a real person or just an archetype of the non-submissive woman? I'm just curious because I have a Lilith conjunct my ascendant in my astrological birth chart. So I embody her energy. Good question. So Lilith is supposed to be the wife of Adam, a she-demon, all those, but also someone who I call spicy. Just like a lot of feminine, powerful energy, who is very willful. You could compare the Queen of Wands to the Queen of Wands energy to Lilith's energy. Was she a real person? This question made me think about, I do sense she was real, but it made me think about my dad's watching horse racing. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. But anyway, it reminds me, I was reading a bunch of mythical stories from, it was Jewish mythical stories and Christian mythical stories I was reading. A lot of the stories, I was like, in a lot of the stories, the women were like evil, or they did something that was sinful. And it felt like, as I was reading some of the mythology from Bible times, it felt like I was reading some of the mythology, and I was like, it really feels like these stories are to make women afraid or control them. I remember, and I was young, I was probably in my early 20s when I was reading this. And when I saw this question, it made me think about that. Do I think the story of Lilith is exactly how it is? No, I don't. She's a demon. She's a demon in some. I believe is more of an archetype, I do believe I believe she was real, but this energy, what was the idea of her, is not what it fully is, the truth. Okay? But I do believe the energy exists. I think women who know of Lilith and understand it took this, sort of took it back to what it was turned into, and took it back as a, took it on as control, or for a sense of power, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? When something is made negative against a group of people and they take it in and make it their own in a more positive light. Okay? Number 12, observations 11. For those of us who have had organ transplants, what aspects of the donor, spiritual or otherwise, are carried over to the organ recipient? Is the donor with us in spirit? Let's ask. Is an organ donor with the recipient in spirit? I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. But I'm saying maybe. Spiritually. I'm gonna say I don't think so. My guides are saying no. It is a very, I could see. That's a tough question. Is the donor with you in spirit? I don't think so. What aspects? Spiritual or otherwise? I feel like it depends on the. I would have to understand the spiritual, like the kidney spiritually represents this, and I don't really understand that fully. So I don't think I could fully answer your question. I don't think the person's spirit is, my God said no, they're not with the donor. But there's something but I'll have to like study that and understand that, what each organ represents. But also if my guides it said maybe, but my guides are saying to me, it doesn't work that way. Okay? But I knew I really kind of couldn't answer this question, but I wanted other people's input. That's why I put it out there, okay? Number 13. Chantel 7613. Will there be a day Immigrants can feel safe again and not terrorized by this administration? Let's see. Will there be a day immigrants can feel safe again in the United States? Yes. Big yes. Yes, the answer is yes. Number 14. Yvette G. Question for you. Is it okay to test the spirits by asking for proof of who they say they are? I mean, your relationship, you mean with your spirit guides? The relationship with you and your spirit guides is one of trust. I didn't question whether or not they were real, ever. I didn't. I knew they existed. I know they're real. What I would question was, I would ask them, show me a sign. Show me a sign of this, Can you please show me a sign if this is around, or if this will happen? And I'll say specifically what I want to see, and there will be times when immediately what I ask for is shown. Are you asking this question? It feels like when you say test the spirits, do you feel like it feels as though, are you being visited by an energy that you don't trust, or it doesn't feel? That has happened to me, and I've been like, nope. That has happened to me twice. When is that happening? Or are you just questioning whether or not, are you being visited by a spirit that is telling you, hey, I'm your so-and-so, or this is so-and-so, and you don't quite trust that's who they are? Yeah, you can. To ask for a sign, just go to chill. If that's happening, if you're being visited by a family member or something, you're not sure, or yeah, you can. But I would trust your intuition and what you feel, Yvette. Okay? All right, guys, that was it. That's all I got. That was all the questions. I hope you got something out of this. These were good questions. Some put me to the test. I will never answer something I can't. I will tell you I can't answer that, okay? But I will see you guys on Friday. In the meantime, enjoy this video. Please like this video. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the notification bell if you haven't. And I will see you guys on Friday. Take care of yourself, okay? Take care. Drink lots of water. Enjoy. Turn off the news. Get off of TikTok. Get off of YouTube after you watch my video. And others that you enjoy watching. And I will see you on Friday. Bye.